God bless Alai.
God bless Alai, Nathan.
We are back with another episode. Big week, Brian. Big week. You ready?
Cestas up.
That's right. We always got to get our cestas up. Taking on the Rabote Renegades.
Those Rabote Renegades.
And we have got to get up for this match tonight or whenever it's happening, you know, which is tonight at the Magic
like pumped
City
up, right? Like Joe Budden pumped up, like pump it up.
We
pump
got
it up.
Even more pumped, Brian.
Oh,
like Nike Air Max, those shoes that you pumped up.
Okay.
But like,
Reeboks. Those are Reeboks pumps, bros.
Pump up till you feel it into your forearms, man. You gotta get that forearm burn on the pump. All right.
Okay. Well, I think we need okay. So how about this? Imagine we were tasked with hyping up our Cyclones. How, like, what would that look like? What would that feel like?
I know, Brian, Mike, and Chris, they tell the players, you're only a caretaker of this jersey. You never own it. You're just borrowing
Come
it.
on.
It's not
Come
yours.
on. Yeah, you're saying something to me now.
Well, let me say something to the 6 men that are standing for Clone Cartel Friday night.
Oh, I'm up with them.
I want to say this, Brian. I know you're going to get the job done. But if you need to borrow something, you borrow the history of that jersey. You borrow the swagger of season 1. You borrow Manu's experience. You borrow the power of the cone.
We don't take no L's.
You borrow several dozen of Clone Cartel standing strong.
We don't dissipate.
I've heard them chuckle at Clone Cartel. Bleckman's written you off. Stu Nyman doesn't believe. They say, Brian, there's a storm coming our way, Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let me tell you something.
Tell them.
We are the storm!
We are the storm!
The Cesta Cyclones!
The Cesta Cyclones!
We them dogs!
We them dogs! Make Sabin remember your name, Manu. They're gonna lose sleep. They're gonna lose it. They sleeping well now. Oh yeah, like little babies. But guess what? We gonna keep them up at night. They gonna be in for a long night after they done playing us.
Facts.
Make them remember your name, because it's Clone Cartel's year.
Go Clones. And that's how I'd hype them up, Brian. If I had the opportunity to hype them up.
If they go out and perform poor after a hype speech like that, maybe they don't got that dog in them.
We did our part, at least.
That's all we could do is Clone Cartel.
And speaking of which, Brian, we've actually got an interview with one of Clone Cartel's own, the newest member of Clone Cartel, Bueno. So,
hey,
I had
very good.
I had a chance to sit down with him. Why don't we go ahead and get to that interview?
Let's hear it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by the newest Cesta Cyclone, new to the team this season. Let me start over here. You go by Bueno on the court. Your first name's Chris, yeah?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So Chris Bueno.
Yep.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I had that right. Okay. Take it back from the top. Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by the newest Cesta Cyclone, the newest member of Clone Cartel.
There you go, baby.
Chris Bueno, how are you doing, sir?
You're doing well this morning. How you doing?
I'm doing well also. Excited for the team this season and the way the team's coming together. Currently sitting in 3rd place, feeling good about where the team is. Where I want to start is one of the first questions we always ask is, how did you get involved in Alai?
Actually, my father was a professional highlight player, so highlights always kind of been a part of my life.
So, how early did you have a cesta in your hand?
I think there might have been a cesta in my crib. But no, honestly, like throwing the ball around, I would say maybe like actually first times, maybe like 6, 8 years old, like throwing it.
Mm-hmm.
But then like I started to practice a little bit by myself when I was like 12, you know. But in America, there wasn't like a lot of, you know, people my age playing highlights. So there wasn't a lot of like, you know, competition at that level. It was different. I got to see some of the best highlight players in the world play when I was that age, but you know, I was on a completely different level.
Mm-hmm. Um, so what is the daily grind like of being a part of Battle Court?
Well, Battle Core is intense, man. You know, because we have another tournament like Pelota that goes on. So we
Mm-hmm.
play Pelota tournament 3 times a week, and then we play Battle Core twice a week. And I mean, you know, it's a lot. It's demanding on the body. You know, you have to be in good shape. You know, it's intense. It's intense, man. You know, it's competitive, very competitive. We all share a locker room. You know, with our opponents, with our teammates. So you know, it's a very competitive atmosphere.
How many days
It's
a
good
week
though. I
are
love it.
how many days a week are you down at the Fronton?
At least 3, 4, if not 5 times a week. I come, you know, regularly to practice. Today I'm not playing. Today I'm just coming into practice, you know. So it's, you know, as often as I can. Also have kids and a wife, you know, so it's
Mm-hmm.
it's a little bit harder for me than other players to fit it into their schedule. But I make it a habit to come down here and at least, you know, work on my game.
Yeah, I've got some kids too. I was actually changing a loaded diaper right before I admitted you to the meeting. If you were waiting there for a minute or two.
The I'm going
Uh,
to a baseball game now. My son has a baseball game after practice, so I'm going to a baseball game. So I'm
mhm.
always on the move. I'm always on the move with the kids. They keep me busy.
So what's a practice look like? What are you working on?
Well, different people practice different ways. Highlight historically is kind of like an individual sport. So, you know, you kind of come up with your own method and technique. When I come out and practice, I like to get a little good warm up, you know, throw a couple of each side, throw, you know, reverses, right side, a couple, you know, postals. And then once I'm warmed up, I play points against myself, but not really like, you know, just working on like the fundamentals, you know, catching, throwing the
Mhm.
ball where I want to throw it, you know, catching it and throwing it where I want to throw it, and just making sure that my technique is good, throwing it powerful, getting a little bit of power, kind of like long toss in baseball, and just working on fundamentals. The more court time that you put in, the easier it is when you're playing. The game slows down in the game time. So you know, and then after that, if there's other players there, it's good to play a couple points, because when you're playing against other people, it kind of tests you and lets you know where you're at. You know, the practice is just to like work on your fundamentals, but then you know, you got to see where you're at against the competition.
Has it been any different for you this season with you're playing like multiple positions? Normally like if your team is all set up, you're either all front court or all of a back
Yeah,
quarter, but for you, you're kind of going back and forth between front court and back court. How's that been for you to play a new position this year?
I love it. I love it. I'm usually a front quarter. I was taught, and when I was taught playing highlight, my father was a front quarter. He actually ended up transitioning to the back court later on in his career, but traditionally he was a front quarter, and originally he was a front quarter, and so was I. And I like it in the backcourt, especially with a partner like Ikeda. Me and Ikeda have really good chemistry. We're actually clicking now. It's kind of, you know, it's a transition to play backcourt. It's a different position. You play
Mm-hmm.
differently and you see the ball differently. But with a partner like Ikeda, I really I enjoy it because I played against Ikeda a lot when I was playing in the front court. I know what he's capable of. He's a very capable player, you know. And if he's executing up there, I just got to play my position and try to get him set up to execute and win the points. And when we're playing good, that's exactly what happens.
So
But I enjoy it.
what do you see your role as on the team this year?
A position player. You know, I have to playing with Manu in the doubles team that we're on. We're a third ranked team, so we're gonna play a lot more games. We're gonna play 12 matches instead of 8 matches.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like you know, and is one of the best players in the world. So I have to execute while I'm up there. I cannot I can't make errors up there, mindless errors up there, because those games are important. And not only are they important, not only is every game important, I'm going to be playing a lot of games up there, and I have a good partner. So those games, I feel like my position is to execute well on there. And playing in the backcourt with Ikeda, I feel like even though we're only going to play 8 matches and not 12, those 8 matches are just as important as any other matches. And having a capable partner in the front, I feel like we should be very, very good in that division. We should be able to put some points on. And then in singles too, in singles, I feel confident. I feel like my position is to put up as many, it's just as anybody else's. We got to put up as many points as possible, but I feel like I'm in a position here to help out this team as much as I can, and as much as they need it, and to put us in a good spot to get in the playoffs, which is what we want, and then a good spot to get in the championship and win the championship. That's what my role is, and that's what I'm trying to fulfill.
Is there anything that having a partner like Manu or having someone like Manny on the team that they've said to you where you'd be like, oh yeah, man, like these two guys have definitely like played for a long time and are pros?
I mean, both of those players actually played with my father, so I've known those guys since I was a kid. Like I know those guys very, very well, and they're experienced players. I love playing with them. They do give you insight, and the most important part is when you're playing with an experienced player who's played on a professional level for a while, they know how to take wins and losses. They don't discourage you, they encourage you. They know what, it's not really so much about what they're saying to you, it's about more of like the tone that they're setting for the team, and we're kind of like, they don't let you get down on a loss. They kind of, it's constructive criticism, because you do have to hold somebody accountable, but at the same time, they just keep the team in a good direction. It is a big plus for the Clones to have, Manny and Manu at the head of the team.
Is there anything, so you've been on a couple different teams, is there anything different about being a part of Clone Cartel versus other teams?
I mean, honestly, I was on the Warriors for 3 seasons, and some of those players
were just I knew you were on the Wall Warriors season 3. I didn't remember 2 and 1. So you Wall Warrior until
and now I got picked up by the cartel. I was a Warrior until I got picked up by the cartel. But honestly, highlight's always been the way that you have to share your locker room with your opponents. So it's nothing new in this aspect, but I am friends with everybody. I'm friends with the other team, but when we're on the court, it's strictly business. We're out there for the W, and that's it. Everything else is Mamba mentality. Everything else is put to the side, and we're out here to win. But this team, I really do with the Chris Cody and the Levitar fans. Like, you guys really do have a really good fan base, man. And we appreciate you guys. Even like during the weekly matches, we're getting messages from the owners of the team, man. And and it's good stuff, man. Like that really does. For the players, it kind of makes us feel like you guys care and you guys are watching, and that's awesome. The involvement is really appreciated.
Absolutely. I mean, anytime the Cesta Cyclones are on, I know I'm watching, and I know the owners are watching too, even on the ones that aren't the Friday matches.
That's what I'm saying. So and then on the Friday matches, we do definitely feel your presence out here. You guys, you guys will bring through a cool crew, man. And even after the game, when we come out and we hang out with you guys in the crowd, man, it's always a good vibe. So,
I do have to ask, because last season the Cesta Cyclones had a infamous bonding dinner before, in which Chris Cody, after a toast, said "F the Wall Warriors." Was that added motivation for you guys last year as a team? Did that give you guys a little added fire when you played the Cyclones last year?
Yeah, I mean, we all know, we all saw it, we all heard it, so it was a little,
I mean, you guys wiped the floor with us last year. I think we didn't take a single game day from you guys last season.
But you know what? We have a history with the Cyclones and the Warriors, because the first season we lost to the guys in the championship. Yep. So so it's always been like going back and forth with the Clones and the Warriors, but we did all hear it, and you know, it's exactly like what I said, though. That's kind of like publicity. And as a player, you got to separate yourself. Because even sometimes when you don't have a good game, you can't really listen to, you know, some of the commentary saying like, you know, like about like, you can't let it affect you. So you got to kind of mama mentality, put it on the side. You get out there and you take care of business, you know? And yeah, we didn't know who we were playing and we didn't know what they said, you know? So, but it's all, you know, I mean, it's all part of the game. So.
When you look out across the battle court landscape this season, what team do you think poses one of the toughest challenges?
Man, honestly, right now, even if you look at the standings, you got the Renegades out there. They're tough, man. They're a tough team, and you know they're heading with Gochari up there in the front. He's an aggressive player. I mean, he's really the difference maker, you know. But they're you know, it's not that they're not beatable, because we played a match. I played against Gochari and Ben with Manu, and honestly, I made 2 or 3 errors that cost us the game. Bottom line, you know, and that's the bottom line. And if I don't make those 2 or 3 errors, we win that game. So it's not that they're not beatable. They're one of the best teams, you know, here, and they're beatable. So, but they are definitely at the top of they're at the top of the charts right now. So it speaks for itself.
What do you think is?
But we're there, man.
What do you think
we're
is
ready.
the most? What do you think is the most important thing for the Cyclones to do to continue to make the playoffs? What do we got to do to succeed? What's our focus?
Honestly, it's about clicking, and we're just about getting right on track. Where it highlights like it's always been an individual sport, like traditionally. So now that it's kind of this whole team concept, this new thing that we got going on here, is like we all have to be playing good at the same time, which is, you know, traditionally didn't even matter and it was hard to do, you know. But if we're all playing good at the same time, which is starting to happen now, you know, because sometimes one player plays good and the other player doesn't play good, and then we come out with either a one game day, or we lost by 1 point and we go 50-50. But if we're all playing good, there's a good chance that we sweep a lot of these teams. Like I'm talking, like sweep them, win every point on the board. We can do it. It's very, very possible. We have that kind of team. You got Carballo in the 3, you got Ikeda in the 4, you got me in the 5, Jedin in the 6. There's not one person here who's not capable of winning. And we already spoke about Manny and Manu at the head. So it's very, very capable. Like, we just all have to be consistently playing good at the same time. If we can accomplish something like that, we're unstoppable, like unstoppable. And that's when you walk on the court with that kind of confidence, your opponent feels it. And that's kind of, and you know, if you're on a roll, you're hard to stop. And that's just what we need to do. We're starting to get the ball rolling with this, but we need to get on a roll and consistently all play well, stay healthy, and play well on the court, and stay positive with each other, which is what we're doing. We're on the right track. You know, we're about, I wouldn't say halfway through the season. I would say maybe like a third, almost halfway. But like we're right where we want to be. We don't want to be peaking right now. We're about to get to the peak, and then we want to run that through to the championship. All right, we're getting in together, and we're on track.
Absolutely.
We like a good competition anyway. So.
So I wanna run an idea by you. I have an idea to grow the game of highlight, and I want to hear what you think. So here's my idea. It's time for highlight to take back the basket.
Let's take it back.
Exactly. And this is what I mean by it. Basketball, they don't play with baskets anymore. It's been a long time since they play with baskets. But highlight, the basket is foundational to the game, the cesta. Yeah. So we take back basketball and call highlight basketball, battle court basketball, to rebrand it. And then maybe we convince some of the players to like change their names. Like Manu can become Manu Doncic. And maybe we get some people tuning in going, what's this battle court basketball that I hear about? And we get some more viewers to turn in. What do you think about that? Is it time for highlight to take back the basket?
Let's take it back, man. There's no such thing as, you know, bad publicity, man. If we get out there and we cause some waves, man, we're going to get, you know, new eyes, man. That's what it's all about right now. We're just trying to get new eyes. You know, my father always said it. Everybody loves highlight. A lot of people just don't know it yet, you know? So when we get people's eyes, man, they're gonna know that they love highlight, and you know that's half of the trick. That's half the trick. Once they fall in love with the game, it's hard to. It's you ask any player who's playing in this locker room with me, and the first time they picked up a basket, they fell in love with the game, and that's just how it's been. They never put it down. So if we could take the basket back and get people to like to see the game and to start to like it and pick up the basket and take the basket back, they'll fall in love with the game. So I love it. Let's do it.
Absolutely. And even though I live all the way across the country, I have been to the Fronton on a Friday, and
Awesome.
they do a great job. Even back in season 1, they've added so much more since I've been there that I've noticed. Like, definitely want to encourage everybody on a Friday when you can get out to the Fronton. Entry's free. The cheap drinks that are there, and plenty of entertainment that's happening. You know, and it's a great atmosphere to go out and do something. So they definitely make it a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, they got DJ. We have a couple, celebrities here that come out and hang out, in the crowd. We'll come out and hang out with you guys after the game. Usually, sometimes we have kids that like a group of kids that do like, you could call it a halftime show, and they do like dancing halftime shows. They have all these different it's a fun event. It's not only just for adults. You can also bring kids too, but they do have drink specials for the adults. They also do have some kind of wagering specials for the adults also. So they have, like I said, a DJ. It's a good time. It's a good time.
Absolutely. I do have another idea that I think can grow the game. Taylor Swift has been growing football. I think we can also get Taylor Swift to grow the game of highlight, and I still have to sit down and look over this more, but I think if we write a parody song from a Taylor Swift song about highlight, it could help grow the game. So I don't know how familiar you are with Taylor Swift, but she has a song, Cruel Summer. I think we parody that song, and we change it to Clone Cartel. And the chorus goes, "It's new, the shape of your body." We just changed that, and I'm gonna sing it here. How it goes? Not a great singer, but we change "It's new, the shape of your body" to "Cyclones, Cest is made by Manny." Right? So I think that's got a good start to it there. I still have to look over the rest of the song to see what other things I can slip in. But what do you think about getting a Taylor Swift parody song to also grow the game and the Clone Cartel?
Let's do it, man. Hey, listen, if you're trying to get me going, I'm full of ideas to grow the game, bro. I'm full of them, man.
Let's hear one or two of them. What's an idea you have that can grow the game?
I think the best idea to grow the game, okay, because it's not that it's little effort, but minimal effort with the biggest impact, okay, is to make a video game, but a real good video game, like an EA Sports video, because you're gonna hit youth throughout the world, playing this game. You got to make it good. You got to make it with the players, and you got to make them like characterized, like how we are, and our special shots and all of this stuff. And you can even go into like older players that are retired now and like legends and all this stuff. You get kids that want to do that. They're going to want to develop their own team. They're going to want to create themselves in the game. You get a real good game like that. My son all day, he plays MLB The Show. I grew up playing Madden, NBA 2K, all of that stuff. You make a highlight game like that, you're going to have thousands of kids with the game in their hand. And they're going to want to say, hey, where can I buy a basket and where can I play? That's the second step, and then once we get there, now you're talking about growing the game, because you got to put it in the kids' hands. The kids got to love it. The kids have to love it for this game to grow. It has to come from the kids. It has to, the adults, the adult fans are great, but really, even as an athlete, even when I go to the Marlins games, what do you think the Marlins like? They love a kid wearing their jersey. If they see a kid wearing their jersey, they throw him a ball. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's what it's all about. It's all about giving into the youth's dream of this, and whatever it is. But that's one of my smallest ideas.
I mean, I'm down for it. I would definitely play a highlight game. I can, I would love to play one that's just, straight up like Madden, like a great interpretation, but even an arcade style one with like flaming pelotas, like people jumping way up high off the wall. Like, come on, that would be a blast to play. I love that idea.
Yeah, man. You know, and it would be awesome because then everybody would be like, wow, this is a real game. And then that would lead into, you know, everything else that comes with, you know, going.
So the last thing we have is a little get to know you game. Just a couple quick questions. Because I don't want to take up too much time of your practice, because I don't want people saying, you know, if we don't do good in our next match, I don't want people saying, you know, Nate, you took up all of Bueno's practice time and we didn't get it done. What are you doing? You know, got to support the Clone Cartel here. So it's a quick game, yes or no questions, but the twist is the yes or no is off of your name. So if your answer is a yes, that'd just be Bueno. If your answer is a no, that'd be no Bueno.
All right. We got it.
So here's the first question. Pineapple on pizza, Bueno or no Bueno?
Bueno.
All right. Playing with another man's cesta, Bueno or no Bueno?
No bueno.
So I mean, that's a consistent answer. Like, what is it about playing with another dude's cesta that it's like, no thanks?
Well, cestas are each handmade, so they're kind of like custom made, if you will. And once you get used to a cesta, it's even more particular than a baseball bat. It's almost like saying they're different kind of like golf clubs, you know. So it's like, you know, I don't know if he's got a 9-iron or a 7-iron or a 5-iron. I'm used to using a 5-iron, so like that's how I throw the ball. I know where the ball's coming out of. The release point is different because every basket's a little bit more curved or a little bit more straightened out. So the release point is different. It takes a little while to get used to. That's one of the reasons. And the other reason is because another man's basket, he's got his hand and it's all sweaty and stuff. You want to stick your pen.
Peeing in the shower, Bueno or no Bueno?
Oh, man, no bueno.
It's with one drain all going to the same place.
Not in the locker room, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, come on. In the locker room, no way. Don't do that. Other people there, yeah. I feel you there. That is a no bueno there.
No bueno, man.
Ketchup on a hot dog, Bueno or no Bueno?
Bueno.
Farting under the sheets, Bueno or no Bueno?
What was it again?
Farting under the sheets, Bueno or no Bueno?
Bueno. You don't have to get uncomfortable to let it go, you know. Stay under the sheets.
Absolutely. How about peeing in the pool, Bueno or no Bueno?
Nah, it's no bueno, man. Bueno. No bueno, man.
And last question here. Clone Cartel will make the playoffs, Bueno or no Bueno?
Absolutely bueno, man. 100% bueno. Satisfactory, guaranteed.
And that's the answer I'm looking for right there. Bueno, thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck this season, and go Clones.
Let's go Clones, man. Happy to be here, man. Thank you for having me. Thank you to all the fans. Shout out to the fans at home watching, guys. We appreciate your support. Come out on a Friday night, man, and I'll come out in the stands and shake your hand.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Have a nice day, man. Thank you, guys.